I keep being asked all the time, what do I do if I get attacked by a stranger somewhere in an alleyway? This is what you can do if you're being attacked with a jab or a cross. The technique I want to talk to you about is called the wedge. It's actually more a concept than it is a real technique that comprises all the four main elements of Wing Chun. But before I actually explain to you the technique, we're just going to go into the actual exercise. So this is what it could look like if Thomas over here attacks me to the head in multiple ways. So let me show you what really happened here. What I produced was a triangle that we call the wedge. So you can see that triangular shape right here. My elbows are in front of my shoulders and my wrists are in front of my head. Now, you want to make sure that when you apply the wedge, that you do it so high that your whole head and your whole body here is covered. You begin from the solar plexus, so you can really go forward and upward at the same time as well. So if you want to practice it, when you practice the wedge, you want to start like this by just pushing the arms out, bringing them back, bringing them out, bringing them back. Later, you can use fists that you push forward. And if you really want to combine that with a violence preventive stance, then you want to bring your hands up in a defensive manner, which then turns into the actual wedge. Now let's see how to apply this thing. Now if I start too high, obviously this opens a gap here that he can make use of by giving me an uppercut. So therefore you want to be in a position from where you can defend yourself at the same time if the guy hits me high, or if he hits me low, if he hits me from the side, if he hits me from the other side. I always go forward, so even if he hits me to the solar plexus or to the tummy, I'm still going to go to his throat. For me, this is a great exchange, right? I'm going to hit his throat while he's just hitting me to the abs. Well, got to work on those abs a little bit. All right, so it doesn't matter because I'm following the straight line, shortest distance of 2 points. I don't really care if he comes from the outside with a roundhouse punch, for example. By following the shortest distance between 2 points, theoretically, I should be the first to hit him, right? So if I'm here and he starts with a roundhouse punch, I should be the first to get him there. Now, if you practice this with a partner, what happens all the time is that I hit him and he hits me, and we both go home like this. But this is because we're being nice to each other. What normally would happen is when he punches is that I move in, and therefore he doesn't have the range anymore, he doesn't have the space anymore that he needs to bring his roundhouse punch in effectively. So therefore, you always want to do the same thing. So if Thomas comes in with a roundhouse punch on the right, or with a roundhouse punch on the left, he comes in with an uppercut, boom, still the first one to get him, right? Or if he comes in with a straight punch, this could be a jab, it could be a cross, exactly. Or even if he comes in with a roundhouse, with a low punch, it's always the same thing that I do. I always go forward to his wedge. Now, again, I'm following the straight line. If he comes in with a roundhouse punch, he has 3 points. He has the starting point of his shoulder, he has the curve, which will be B, and he has C, the actual target. While I'm going from here, from A to B right away. So therefore, theoretically, I should be the first one to hit him. Obviously, you have to practice this stuff hard in order to get explosive and to get really fast and to be able to apply that sufficiently. But I'll leave that up to you. So grab a training partner, train it, have fun. See you next week.